Hi, welcome to FUT-IQ. I am Diego. Today I want to talk none other than the EPL. There's not much to say. It starts at the end of this weekend and the Premier League is finally back. And I don't know about you guys, but this might be one of the most unpredictable Premier League seasons that we've had in a very long time. Arsenal are coming off of winning the Community Shield, obviously, as well with the Premier League. And Manchester City have a new manager, Liverpool as well with a new manager, likes as Chelsea as well, Man U, a bunch of new managers for the Big Six and just overall in general for the football world. There's a bunch of new managers and the big teams and just overall. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the first week goes. And I kind of want to go through it with you guys with the opening week or weekend. I'll tell you guys which games I'm actually going to watch and which teams I'm most interested in, and giving you guys some predictions before the season even starts. And to begin with it, we have obviously Friday, August 21st, Arsenal versus Coventry. And Coventry is a team that is finally in the EPL. Coventry City at the Emirates. It's going to be a very interesting game where I think this is going to be an interesting game where I thought, maybe Arsenal could go a bit comfortable within, being the Premier League champions and coming in with the Community Shield. But as well as that's like said, they could also, come with a big impact and winning 3-0, especially with a team that just recently is now in the EPL and they'll be making their debut. It's been like 25 years since they've been in the in the EPL. That's honestly, I wasn't even born when they were playing in the EPL. And honestly, that's just crazy. It's been a very, very long time since Coventry hasn't been back in the EPL. But there is an interesting part where Arsenal, they don't have to, just win this game. Honestly, yeah, it's a good way to start the season. But this is going to really, show me, and not even just me, obviously, but, the world, even to themselves, that they are ready to defend the title. And it's different, talking about a team or another team that is trying to, be in the title race than, being the team that everybody wants to be because they are the defending champions. And obviously with the quality they have, they can make that happen again. But I'm going to be the one raising my hand first and say I doubt, and I really, really strongly doubt that Arsenal will be winning the EPL back-to-back. I do believe we'll have a new champion at the end of the season. Stay tuned to what I'll say at the end of the video and who I think will win the EPL. But with that being said, I think we need to see Arsenal, play good football, and whether Arteta can keep that hunger and see if the new additions, fit well and then within the system. Bruno Guimaraes being probably one of the biggest signings of the summer, not just overall, but for Arsenal. He is a solid player, not gonna lie, a lot of memes, but he's pretty good, even though he missed the PK for Brazil in the World Cup. But he's a pretty good, solid midfielder. And Coventry, for this game, I'm going to think they're supposed to lose against the defending champions, right? But I mean, they could also come with the mentality, okay, people are expecting us to lose. We got nothing to lose either, debuting making a debut in the EPL. So that is going to be very exciting for them. So I do think, with that all being said, Coventry coming in with after 25 years of not being in the EPL, I do see them losing, honestly. I don't think they'll beat Arsenal. Arsenal looked pretty good, especially against City. Obviously, City with Maresca, new players that they'll be wanting to get. Looks like they want to get Enzo, but too expensive, and I don't think that's going to happen. Obviously, Enzo Maresca knows Enzo, and he definitely wants him in his team, but he also has a contract. He also is very expensive. I just think the players overall. You guys can even see my other previous podcast where I talk a little bit about how expensive or how the value of the players in the market is absolutely insane, and they don't deserve, no disrespect, but they don't deserve to be valued that high. But with that being said, I do see Arsenal winning a 2-0, and I think they're going to keep that goal against very low. I'm not saying they'll break the record, but I think they'll, have a low percentage in getting scored on. Yeah, maybe, especially in the first game. I do see them, not conceding. But then on Saturday, we'll finally get to see Man U against Hull City, another team that is up in the EPL. It's been a minute for Hull City as well. And, well, this is one of the most interesting games, I think. Michael Carrick being back as a Man U coach, not just to, be there for a bit, see who they get. He's actually there for the season. And I think this is going to be really good for Man U. I think this is the season where they can show up and, Rashford being back and playing for them. And he's a great player. He showed us that in the World Cup as well, in the Spanish league for Barcelona, which I'm very surprised they do not keep him. Instead, they get Gordon. I don't know. That's just absolutely insane to me. How do you get Gordon over Rashford? And Rashford costs less than Gordon. I just can't believe it. And I think that they're going to regret that. But at the same time, who knows, man? They had like 53 goals with Lewa and I think Rashford, of course, and Ferran Torres, Barcelona, and those goals are going to be gone because they're no longer in that team. But Rashford is going to be a key part for Man U. Hot take, whatever you guys think about that, but I think that he'll be key for Man U this season. And I think Manchester United definitely are going to win this game. It's going to be complicated because, I mean, the second division in England is not bad at all whatsoever. It might even be one of the best second division leagues in the world. So I do think that it's going to be a competitive game, but Man U should win. And most importantly for Man U is can they actually control the game? Can they create more chances? Can they look more confident? They're playing the Champions League this season. They're going to have to do a lot more rotations. And I think that they can create that, especially with the new head coach. And he understands the DNA. He can create an environment. He can create an identity for the players themselves. And I'm sure that they'll be able to find their identity and play with one, because it's been a minute since we've seen Man U with that identity that we've seen before. So I'm going to say for this game, I think it'll be 2-0. And next up, we have Brentford-Tottenham. This is another sneaky, interesting game that most people will not think to watch. But honestly, boys, this is a good game. This is a really good game. Brentford, we made a video, my brother and I, last season about who our top 5 was to get relegated, or who was going to be in the top 5 to be playing like European competitions and winning the EPL, right? And then we had like the 3 that were getting relegated. I personally had Brentford getting relegated, especially with not having Mbemo and Wissa. I thought that, they'd be a team that lost their their goal scoring abilities, and they absolutely killed it last season, reaching like 8th, I think, if I'm not mistaken, or like even like probably even better. Let's see here. I think it was like, what was it? Yeah, 6th. No, wait, 9th. Yeah. That's really good. I thought they would do terrible. They had 53 points and they lost 13 games. Yeah, 13 games, 11 draws, 14 wins. Honestly, thought they'd get relegated. Not too bad of a season for them. And I think that this is going to be also a very, very good game for them as well. So I think that they could definitely win this game. It's going to take a lot for Brentford to show up against Tottenham. Tottenham also, with their new head coach, is going to be very, very exciting to see, in my opinion. I don't think that they're gonna look bad this year. They were very close to getting relegated, and I mean they did their thing and they got out of the relegation zone. De Servi is a really good coach. Where Tottenham are capable of making things difficult, I think, especially with their players that they have. They got good talent. Spencer just left their left back. I'm sure they're going to get a new left back, as well as Vicario. Their keeper is, I think, on a loan at Juve, if I'm not mistaken. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they set themselves up for the rest of the season, what keeper they'll be using, and as well with who'll be in the starting 11. And they won't be playing any European competition, so it's really good for them to focus in the EPL. Same for Chelsea, it's kind of hard, but at the same time, it's something that they need to focus on, especially Tottenham almost getting relegated, and for the amount of money that they have spent and their net worth, it's absolutely insane that they were that close to getting relegated. So we'll see what can De Serbi actually turning Tottenham into a serious team. Comment down below, what do you guys think? I think that if there's somebody, it's him. He can make that happen. He's done a lot of great things in his career with Marseille. He did really, really good things before them. So I think this is something he can do as well. And I do see Tottenham winning with 2-1 here. What's going to be interesting to see that game. But then we have on Sunday, Newcastle versus Liverpool. That's going to be probably the biggest game of the weekend. We have Liverpool traveling to Newcastle. And it's going to be very interesting seeing this storyline. Alexander Isak now playing for Liverpool after previously being at Newcastle. He should be full match fit for this. And plus, Liverpool have a new manager. Same with Newcastle. Bruno Guimaraes is gone from Newcastle. We'll see how their midfield is set. Obviously, as well with Tonali. He is out. He was at Newcastle, now at Tottenham. It's going to be interesting to see him there as well with Tottenham versus Brentford. Let's see if we get a couple minutes. But Areola is going to be very interesting to see where he finishes, I think, 5th for Bournemouth. And now he has a bigger team to direct and see how tactically he moves the team into a better situation than Slot put Liverpool in. And they have new defender Araujo. We'll see how that goes. No Konate. He is on a loan, so we'll see if Araujo can pick it up and play really, really good for Liverpool. But as well is, I think that the biggest question is, how is Liverpool going to look this season, as well with Newcastle. I just don't know if Liverpool has what it takes to win the league, but I mean, they can surprise. They do have a solid team. No Mo Salah, that is an end of an era right there. And we'll see who's their new number 10. Might be Florian Wirtz. I don't know, man. We'll see. It's going to be very interesting to see who takes that number, and also just overall who takes the throne, right, and becomes the guy. I think it could be even though he's injured. What's his name? Etequite? Yeah, that's his name. I'm not. Why am I tripping? I think he can show up. He had a devastating injury, missed out of the World Cup. Hopefully, he comes back stronger and better. What an absolute baller he was for Liverpool when he joined. But I do see Liverpool winning this game, and I think it'll be a 1-0. It's going to be a very tight game, and they were going to have to, make better adjustments tactically. They were the 2025 champions, and let's see if Isak can go back and be in that scoring machine position that he's been in, and especially for Newcastle. So I can see him scoring at St. James Park. It'd be crazy to see him score against his former club and pull that celebration. That'd be hilarious. Would he celebrate? I don't know. he kind of does give me the vibes that he would. He would not give a fuck and just, or I don't know, whatever. I think he would celebrate. It's gonna be crazy to see how the Newcastle fans react, even if they win or lose. I want to see the banter that there'll be in that game, which whatever happens. So also for the next day, we have Fulham Chelsea on Monday, where I think it's gonna be the first time that I'm gonna say this. Man, Fulham looks very, very, very dangerous. There's gonna be a lot of interesting things with Fulham. Besides the shirts that are absolutely beautiful, in my opinion, I think that this can be the season that they can show up and sadly no Raul Jimenez back at Wolves, and what a legend he is and what a great World Cup he had. But also just Fulham have done a lot of movements, and obviously with their new head coach, it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. Two ex-Real Madrid managers. They didn't last there very long, and now they're in the EPL. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be very, very exciting, and I think that Chelsea are going to win, obviously. Biased, but I'll try to be not unbiased. I really do think that Xabi Alonso can implement what he did at Bayer Leverkusen more than what he could have done or what he did at Madrid. Maybe a lot of pressure, a lot of I don't know, anxiety or a lot of things going on, you know. And here I think there's not that big amount of pressure. It's a season where we don't have any European competitions, so maybe they can, you know, be less stressed, be less, you know, pressured, and you know they can actually do something here. So it's going to be very interesting to see Chelsea, what they're going to look like. Obviously they had a decent preseason, but that's completely different than the regular season. We're talking about formation. What formation will they be playing? How do they look with the possession of the ball? Do they go forward? Do they attack? Do they create chances, or do they just swing the ball left and right, left and right, left and right, and back and forward, back and forward, back and like, what is it going to be? Is there going to be an identity of how they move the ball? Hopefully we see that. Obviously the young players turning up, that'd be great, but as well, kind of crazy. The transfer market is absolutely insane. I should make a separate video on this, but how do you get to elderly players and expect them to, you know, put you in the European competitions next season? I highly doubt it. It can happen, but I don't think they'll be pushing the players to that, or pushing the team to that. Obviously, hopefully I'm not being too negative there and they can make that happen, but my expectations for Danny Welbeck and for Henderson are very low. I expect them to go in, you know, especially outside during training sessions or you know, even in the bench, you know, like the experience, yes, it matters, but to a certain extent it makes you reach a certain place, right? But it's not everything, and we'll see whether Chelsea finally become consistent or not. And I think that if Chelsea win this comfortably, I'll be very optimistic, obviously. But if they struggle against Fulham, which Fulham does look like a very interesting team this season, at least for the beginning part of it, right? I'm not going to panic too much, but I'm definitely going to have some questions of what the hell is going on with Chelsea. And now we finally have Mudryk back. Hopefully, you know, he stays, or even just, you know, goes out on a loan. I want to see that baller play. Like, he's been like, what, 3 years or so? Absolutely. Way too long. So hopefully that goes well. But now transferring to the general of the EPL, that was just the beginning of, or the first match week of the EPL, which is this weekend. But now just overall, like I'm saying, man, it's gonna be very tight to see who wins the league. I could say that it could be Man U, man. Man U looks scary. I think Man U have it. Man U might be the new EPL winners, or I mean, it sounds crazy. It sounds crazy, but I also could say Chelsea, especially since they're not, you know, playing any European competitions. Can be Chelsea, man. I just don't think it's going to be Arsenal. I think they'll get third for sure, but I am going with Man U. Man U, oh, man. I think this might be their year. It might be their year. And I think the biggest surprise or dark horse again, it might be Brighton again. I mean, Brighton consistently have been proving me wrong, and even with the signings they let players go, they still somehow like ball up and show up. And either Brentford as well. I don't know. These are teams that are mid-table teams, and they can surprise you. And I think these are going to be one of them, as well as Fulham, as I'm saying. And the biggest disappointment, I think, I mean, not to be negative here, but I must say that Leeds or Crystal Palace are going to have a terrible season, as well with Nottingham Forest. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens to them. But my biggest surprise of match week is that maybe, I mean, just maybe Arsenal tie. That wouldn't be surprised. But that's just me hating, and that's just me not expecting much for them in the first match, especially off that cloud nine of winning the EPL, and then as well with the Community Shield. They could get a tie, man. I would not be surprised. But let's see what happens there. And I just think that we need to be very excited for this season. It's going to be very entertaining, and we'll see how it goes. But so that's my preview for the first weekend of the EPL. And honestly, what's going on right now, even with the transfer market, it has me very exciting. Rodri is no longer at City, now at Barca. What a great midfield Barca is going to have, man. Talking about the Champions League, that's a dangerous team. Dangerous team. So this is what's exciting about the season so far. We have so many new managers, so many new players and new teams that just came up. And I genuinely don't know some of these teams so much, like Coventry City and hell, even some Hull City. I know a little bit about them, not too much. Definitely want to go in depth and getting to know them throughout the season, but maybe a little bit about their history as well. But let's see how it goes, boys. I'm gonna have to save this video for the end of the season to see how my predictions went and see how far Man U go. Maybe I'm completely wrong and Liverpool win or something stupid. Arsenal back-to-back EPLs. That would be absolutely insane. I think I'd go bald or just be very depressed. But let me know your guys' predictions, or who wins the EPL, or who's your dark horse, and maybe one prediction that nobody's talking about that maybe you might be right about. But I'll see you guys next time. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and see you.